And welcome everybody to the Phoenix International Raceway, where this is take number 2, and I really don't feel like doing anything other than getting the engine started, because I don't want to have to talk all that much again. Hello Seth, thank you for joining me again up here in the booth.
Great to be here. Yeah, we ran a test race before, and it turned into a bit of a wreck fest, so we had to kind of adjust a little bit of the opponent manager and everything, but we're here. This is Phoenix. And oh wow, that was a voice crack.
Wow. Good one.
I think I hurt my spleen. Professionalism. Anyway, Dusty Allen and Alex May on the front row at a track that kind of historically is a fuel guzzler, and it's a strategy race.
Yeah, it really is. And we're at a track that favors both lines, so both of these drivers are actually in a bit of a predicament. Really. And then look at the driver starting third place is the guy who finished second at last week at Talladega, and that is the Stephen Pollard III.
Yeah, and with this qualifying result here at a track that track position is somewhat a factor, that's certainly good for him because he already built on a good case of making his way into the next round of the championship hunt, and if he can get a good finish here, we may safely say, barring what happens next week, he may be in the title hunt when we get to the next round.
Drivers pulling off of the starting grid here, the pit road. Gonna be pulling, hopefully, a very good race, much like Talladega. The finish at Talladega was amazing.
Yeah.
Best finish, I think, in all of NR history, offline-wise.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable finish there at Dega. So these guys, the fans probably filed in today hoping for a race just as good. So these 42 drivers have a task on their hands, and these two guys at the front, Dusty Allen and Alex, may have a task on their hand to try and prove which line's going to be the line to move today, where these drivers will want to make their moves for a potential win here at Phoenix.
This is the first time that Dusty Allen's been on pole, and hey, look, my frame rates didn't go to 2.
Oh, wow.
Dusty Allen starting on the pole. First pole of the season for that 42 car. This could very well make or break your chase if you're a chase driver. Green flag is out. We're underway. I'm going to keep an eye on this 24 car. It's going to try to make it 3 wide for the lead.
Very early move there by Stephen Pollard III, trying to get the inside line going there. And you see, he moved the 42 up to the high line. I'm not really rightly sure if Dusty Allen didn't move up there on his own accord.
Yeah, watch the run he's going to get off this corner.
We know how Kyle Larson highlines it in NASCAR, and it looks like Dusty Allen does the same. I think he may get him cleared.
Yeah, he has him cleared, but he's still underneath him in a way. But if the 24 car cannot be at least a good car length ahead of him going into turns 3 and 4, then I think the 42 is going to get him again.
Yep.
He's ahead of him as I get a little bit of lag there. He could try to clear him off the corner. I think he has him cleared.
Does he have him clear? Yes, he does. Yep. Steve Pollard III is now out in front here at Phoenix, and now he's got to hold that inside line.
Stephen Pollard, he is a 3-time winner this season. He won at Atlanta, and he won back-to-back at Pocono. And what was after Pocono? I forgot. The track after Pocono. I think it was crap. Where was it? I forgot.
Yes, it was crap. Pocono and crap.
He won back-to-back races at Pocono and Chicago. That's what it was. It was Chicago and Pocono that he won back-to-back. So he's looking to make it 4-time, and with a win here, it would secure his spot in the championship. And
last week we didn't have a chaser go to victory lane. Steven was actually the closest of the chasers last week and finished in second. So we're trying to see if maybe some chaser will take advantage of today's race at Phoenix to make his way into the next round. Looks like Steven's doing that.
And we're looking back here at Cole Daly, who was involved in an accident at Talladega, and he's also one of the bottom 4 drivers.
Yeah, ended up getting involved in a wreck, was the lowest finisher of the chasers last week at Dega. Really, really needs something good to happen here today at Phoenix to get himself back in contention, and right now, I don't know if this is the fact that he just can't pass or he's just riding around, but whichever the case, right now he is at the tail end of the field.
Now, we've seen in real life what Ryan Newman would do to get into the chase. Now, the question will remain the same thing as here. Who will do what to get themselves a spot, a chance to be in the chase?
I mean, I swear, if NR 2003 physics can make a car go down beneath the yellow line in turn 3 and slide up into the leader to take the win, I mean, that would be pretty interesting.
We're going to see where 5-time crosses the line this time by as he's trying to pass Silver Fox. He's in 21st position. So,
and don't forget, too, that Trent Dunham, the last time we were here at this track, one of his 5 wins came here at Phoenix.
Yeah, and that was over a heartbreak. That was a heartbreak victory, I guess, if you talk about it, because as soon as I can find him, there he is right here.
There he is.
Driver right here, he was leading the race and had a tire cut down mid-race, and when he came to pit road, the tire was wrapped around all kinds of the inside of his car, and he had to take it behind the wall.
Yep.
So Alex May could be looking for redemption as I'm looking at the scoring monitor, and it looks like Dusty Allen's got back by Stephen Pollard.
Oh, wow, yeah, Dusty Allen. So now we know that Dusty Allen has a car that can work both sections of the racetrack, the high and low line, because apparently he had to have utilized the low line to get around Stephen Pollard III to take the lead back.
Here's somebody we haven't talked about much, and who I haven't talked about much at all this season. That's Luke Walker in the 16 car. He's having a nice race up here in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, and Luke did not have a good run last week at Dega, trying to get that 16 to victory lane before the season ends, and right now running good. I think maybe the caution's out.
Yes, caution is out. You see Larry Hagan on pit road, and we see front end damage on Joseph Srigley in the 27 car, and it looks like maybe Ian Dutta might have had a piece of it too.
Yeah, he might have had to slow down to avoid a wreck or something. And from the look of it, looks like it was something off of turn 2 onto the back straightaway.
Which really doesn't surprise me, because turn 2 is the trouble spot.
Yeah, it is.
So if we look, I'm going to check on Seth Cole. Where did he cross the line at? Seth, where are you at?
Well, right now, I'm making contact
Whoa.
with the 18.
Oh, you were 20th crossing the line for this caution flag. And it does look like we are going to indeed have pit stops.
So now it will be interesting because there are 32 laps in this race. I think the fuel window is somewhere between 12 to 15 laps. So these drivers, I don't think, can make it the whole rest of the way on 1 tank of fuel.
I'll be curious to see what strategy plays out. We saw fuel only and 2-tire strategies at Darlington, which made it the most pit stop. I guess I don't know how to say the most
strategic race or something like that.
The most strategic race I've ever seen. And it looks like a 2-tire pit stop for that 42.
You know, I applaud that move. I really do, because Dusty Allen, his car was really good when he was out in front. And, you know, whatever it takes to be able to keep that track position, he had to go with that strategy, or else Luke Walker would have taken the lead off pit road.
Waiting here for cars to get back in line. All right, now let's go take a look and see what brought out the caution. And we're back to taking a look and see at what happened. As you see going off into the corner, Joseph Srigley is on the corner panel of Larry Hagan. And right here, he kind of pushes up the track into Hagan. And right there, you see Hagan turn sideways. And they see the 27 will back off right here because he knows he's turning them. So he's already on the brakes. The 87 car goes down into McCurry. And then as McCurry hits him to go back up the track, the 27, he just collected 27 with nowhere to go. And Ian Dutta hard on the brakes already. It looks like we'll actually avoid that wreck.
I think he did. I don't think he made contact. But look at how Larry Hagan's car was actually airborne when he slid up to the outside wall. And that just caused the car to go airborne even more with the impact. And the car goes over about 1.5 times.
Okay, so Seth made a comment to me saying, why do I want to kill my drivers? And the question, and the answer to that is, I'm not trying to kill them. It's just the way these cars race.
I'll tell you one thing, though, that I know for certain. That wreck happened at the tail end of the field. I think that was like a battle for 39th place. And the only reason why that happened at the rear of the field, it's Phoenix. It was desperation.
Yes. This car is trying to get every spot they can possibly get. But, like I said before, we saw pit stops. Dusty Allen is the leader. So let's go and take a look and see where everybody else falls in place. Alright, welcome back to Phoenix. So far, only Larry Hagan is out of this race. As you see here, the top 10, we're going to give you a quick rundown, is Dusty Allen, Luke Walker, Joshua Collard, Nick Altendorf, Dylan Poteet, Steve Pollard III, James Shelley, Alex May, Dylan Young, and Cody Hagan in the top 10. So as we're coming to the restart, we got over 10 laps to go. We say about over 15 or so. Yeah, over 15, about 19 laps to go, actually. 19 laps to go on this restart.
Yeah, and we know for certain they cannot make it the entire rest of the way on fuel.
We're already going to have a battle for the lead heading off into turn numbers 3 and 4.
Now we know the 42 is good on the high side. Let's see if he can get the run here out of 4. But Luke Walker making quite a fight there.
Collar kind of just stayed in the middle there.
Yeah, kind of waited to see which line was going to move.
Now see, Hagan's going to stay on the outside line there. Allen is going to stay on the outside line there. But it's just going to be the 16 car on the inside. I think he's going to have him cleared by this corner.
You know, and you mentioned Hagan. Now, I know he's out of the race, but the car that he ended up getting involved with, Joseph Wrigley, had a lot of front-end damage, and he is still running. Now, I don't know just exactly how long it takes for these leaders to catch up to the tail end of the field, but that 27 car, if we keep going green, he could be a factor in this.
He's on pit road, and so is the 17 of James Shelley. I wonder what's going on here.
Yeah, Shelley, an unscheduled pit stop there on that 17 as his teammates leading the way. Don't rightly know what that's about.
I guess we'll find out by the end of the race. Uh-oh.
That's, the 83
Gonzalez
coming in. Or the 93, rather.
Gonzalez comes in for looks like a 2-tire pit stop. We're hearing probably a loose wheel on the 93 car.
And it's looking like NNSCRA is allowing the 27 to be able to run on track, but you notice he came down pit road again. I think he's basically coming around the track, then he comes down pit road. That's going to allow the leaders to be able to go around him, and he won't be a factor.
That's very smart on the part of Joseph Wrigley in the 27.
And you know, this is what we call Tweenix Racing home track, and there's one of the Tweenix boys, Dylan Poteet, now up there, moving by Dusty Allen for second place.
There's Mr. Tweenix himself.
Yep.
Poteet,
there are many people in the NR 2003 community that can hit the Tweenix notes, but nobody pulls it off quite like Poteet.
Poteet's had a bit of a mediocre season, and he was close to getting wins at Loudon. Unfortunately, pit strategy kind of screwed him over off that win. But he is bound and determined on this one.
Man, that run into 3.
He hooked his car underneath a 16 car.
Now that's what you call a car with good handling. It goes anywhere Poteet wants to put it.
He might have used a little bit of his tires up there, but man, he is just going. I think Poteet may have took 4 tires on that pit stop.
You know, I'm not exactly surprised if that would be the case, that he may have 4 to Luke Walker's 2, because it looked like the only 2 drivers that really got off pit road really quickly were Luke Walker and Dusty Allen. I think everybody else might have gone with 4 tires.
And Poteet takes the lead, but the question will remain is what will he do on that final pit stop?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got these 4 tires, you know, do you go with just gas and go? The big question is when this final pit stop comes down to, because you know, if we have this thing with maybe about 7-8 laps remaining, that's one thing. Then you might think about taking on some Goodyear rubber. But if there's only 4, 3, 2 laps to go, you might as well go with the gas and go strategy.
I think Poteet got a little bit loose there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Slid up the corner a little, kind of messed up his entrance.
Yeah, but he got it back going off of turn 2.
Yeah, he got a nice run there off of turn 2. We've kind of seen the inside line get more of a run off of 2 and the outside line off of 4, but Poteet got it off of 2 that time.
So let's kind of give us a look at our chase drivers. And so far, the highest running chase driver is Alex Mann at 51. So he's
not surprised. I mean, he ran well here when we were here the first time, and running well here again. But right now, he's kind of boxed in with Connor Breeden, Dylan Young, Dusty Allen, not really able to make any forward progress.
Yeah, and then here's Stephen Pollard III, who led a couple laps. He's fallen back almost outside the top 10 at this point.
I'm not rightly sure that Stephen Pollard III, though, is really pushing it, because as we said, he came into this race with a runner-up finish last week at Talladega. He's running the top 10 now. I think he's basically just trying not to use up his equipment and remain consistent to make his way into the next round of the chase.
That is true, and then here's Mr. 5-time. He's running 16th last time around.
Yeah, Trent Dunham, he was actually just inside the top 20 when we went to green, and he's been able to pick up a couple of spots here, but Many of these drivers, they're just kind of boxed in. There's not a lot of room for progress. They're having to wait and see which line moves ahead of them.
The 1 car behind the 11 car.
Yeah.
A lot of ones.
1-1-1.
And speaking of 1-1, here's Seth Cole, who's won twice. He was back in the 19th position, so this may very well be enough to at least get him, if not out of the bottom 4, at least in shape to possibly make the top 4.
Could very well, you're right. I mean, he did not have a good run at Dega. He really needs a good run here. What's really going to matter now, though, is if he's not able to make his way up into the top 10, he's going to need a top 5 for sure next week.
Yeah, that's true. As we're looking at Preston Plord, this guy has just been quiet all season long. This is like literally Ryan Newman right now. He's the Ryan Newman of the chase. Quiet, getting steady consistency. He is just getting finishes where he needs it.
Yeah, Talladega, case in point last week, he was up inside the top 10 that entire race. Didn't win the thing, but he was consistent.
Well, I almost thought there was going to be a wreck there between the 13 and the 52.
Yeah. Trent Dunham says, you guys race like that, I'll just go by both of you.
Yeah, I saw that. Here's Shelton. She's kind of slipped back. Not a very good run for this 25 car. I'm hoping that she can get up there because I'd really like to see Shelton make the Final 4.
And you know, too, you think about it, there were 4 drivers last week, Shelton, Dunham, Preston Plard, and Stephen Pollard III. With their good runs at Talladega, they can afford something like that. Maybe they didn't bring the best setup to Phoenix. Well, at least they've got a shot to be able to, build on the good run they had at Dega, and pit stops are on.
All right, it looks like the 47 car stayed out this time. Boy, does he have a lead.
Yeah, he does. And remember back last week at Dega, the dominant car was Breton before he got moved out of the way. He's looking for some redemption from last week.
And here comes Connor now. He kind of dove it off down to the low side. Connor is coming in. He's going to have a big lead over Allen and the rest of the gang. Question will remain, though, is, did those guys not pit?
Did Mongold not pit, or Ian Dutta?
I think those were the guys that pit like the very first time before we noticed.
Well, Cole Dally was with that group that just stayed out.
I just realized also, we have 3 laps to go.
Yeah, it's crunch time. And you see here, no tires, gas and go. This is what I called. I said when it came down with 4 to go or something, don't worry about Goodyears, just fill the thing full of Sunoco.
But look who just passed Breton.
Dylan Pote got around him. He's in the lead.
If I can get up to him. There he is. Dylan Pote, he probably just took your strategy right out of your mouth, cheater. Telling him your strategy.
Yeah, and hey, what did you say Dylan Pote lost that race back at Loudon on?
Fuel strategy.
Ha! Look what he's done here today.
And
fuel strategy at its finest at Phoenix.
And look at the lead he has.
Man.
Dylan Poteet's luck can finally turn around. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for the chase, but a late race win is better than no race win.
Absolutely. 1.5 seconds with a white flag display.
White flag is out. 1 lap left for Pote. All he has to do is hit his marks.
And he's got his lead actually grew.
He opened it up to 1.7, technically 1.8 if you think about it. But
leave her wide open, Pote, through 3 and 4. You got nothing to lose, son.
Pull a Ryan Newman, go wide open.
Yeah, the 31. Hey, how about that?
Dylan Pote comes off of turn number 4, and it's going to be Pote securing his first win of the season as he wins here at Phoenix. Ironically.
Yeah, the Tweenix racing driver at Tweenix.
Has that ever happened? Have you seen Tweenix win at their home track?
Not to my knowledge.
So this could very well be the first time that a Tweenix racing car has won at their home track. So let's go by and see where the chasers finish. Yep, the race is official. I gotta name this one Phoenix 2.
Boy, talk about a tough race for chasers. Only one chaser finished in the top 10.
I know, and that's Stephen Pollard 3rd.
Yeah.
Ironically. And then where did... Oh, wow. Dunham fell back to 27th. Alex May is the next chaser. No, take it back. Preston Plord is the next chaser, finishing 12th. And then it's May behind him, and then Mongold.
Look at Cole Dally. He was 42nd for a good portion of this race. pit strategy. I think he was one of the first 4 cars to hit pit road on that last cycle of pit stops. He'll get a top 20 in 19th.
Oh, a couple cars retired. Joseph Strigley finally took his car behind the wall. And looks like Lisa Gonzalez had a piston problem.
Yeah, so that explains that unscheduled pit stop for the 93 Toyota team.
Yeah. Well, this is always fun. Always
yes, it is.
fun to record like this. And this is 2 races left. 2 races to decide to chase. And after this, I got some hard calculations to do for the points. Hopefully my good friend here, Seth, will help me with the math.
Yeah.
But,
2 plus 2 is 5.
No, I thought 2 plus 2 equals fish.
We're doomed.
Alright, so we're going to end this early so our brains don't overheat before we have a chance to start the math. So, next week is Homestead, but it is not the final week. Next week is Homestead, but our final race weekend will be at FTF Super Speedway. But next week, it's going to be the all-important race weekend as to who is going to make the chase. The chase. Who is going to make the chase? It's my Italian coming out of me. But, who is going to be a part of the Final 4? We'll find out the end of next week. So, thank you again for joining me, Seth. I'm pretty sure I'll see you for Homestead. And good luck to you. Hopefully, Homestead, you can win the race and secure your spot chase for the championship. Just like I said, Homestead next week. Until we meet again.
Poti got money for the Squeaky Chair Foundation!